You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Here in sunny Las Vegas, not very warm, but pretty sunny, staring out the windows right now at the beautiful mountains and, of course, all of the excitement that is Las Vegas. So although I don't usually participate in too much of the craziness that is Las Vegas, I'm here for the Consumer Electronics Show. It is the largest one to date. And if you've never heard about this CES show, it goes through all of future-based technologies. I've wanted to go to this show now for, I would say, a decade. So this, to me, this is like a dream come true. I got invited to participate and meet on the podcasting-based topics. So I'm excited to meet a few of the presenters and also what the future of podcasting may look like. But the other thing is I'm actually here meeting with a few companies from wearable-based smart devices. So in the biotech realm, I talk about that's one of my loves is really being able to track data. So in the future, there's no doubt in my mind, I will be participating in some type of a company that allows someone like yourself to send data to your doctor or integrative health practitioner through a wearable-based device, whether it's a ring, whether it's a bracelet, whether it's your phone. There's so many different things, and I have a lot in mind, so I don't want to give it all away, but there's no doubt about it, and I'm so excited about this industry because if we can really enable people to take control of their own health, that's what, in my opinion, wearable devices are, and we can alert them as to when their blood sugar is dropping or when they haven't eaten in a while or how long their fast should be, and send them alerts and really walk them through a healthy day. It will eventually become instinctual. It will become part of their circadian rhythm. When to go to bed, what their sleep quality was. Should they push it today, not push it today in their exercise? So I just really believe that this is going to happen. This is going to be big, and it excites me, and I like to do things that excite me. For me, it's not about, this is going to be a big business or whatever it is. No, I think this is going to be a game changer. Like, I think that people like my parents and other people out there, really, this could get them more interested in their own health and making better decisions. And that's really what I want for people. So I'm going to share more with that. I'll talk about it just a little bit more in the show today. But that's why I'm here. That's why I'm traveling once again. Way too much travel. Way too much travel. Hopefully I haven't shown it too much in my shows, but I'll tell you, I've been traveling since October of last year. I took 3 weeks off for the holidays, and now I'm back traveling again, and it won't really stop until about April 1st. And so I'm going to try to take it a little bit easy then, but I've got so much travel. I'll be giving you a little later in today's show what I do to prevent jet lag because I'm back and forth in time zones all over the place. Germany is like 6 hours ahead in Vegas now, which is 3 hours behind Boston. And so anyway, I'm all over the map, but I'm going to give you some really great tips that I use to make sure that I can go to bed at the appropriate time, wake up at the appropriate time, and still have plenty of energy. So that's really what it's all about. But before we get into my favorite food of the week that I like to give, some reviews and some research, I want to go through that. This week has been, I just think, an exceptional week for me in terms of my January detox. We had just well over 1,000 people just this week participated in our community in the detox, and it's one of my favorite times of the year. We do one every season, but this is absolutely one of my favorite times of the year because it really does reset me after the holidays. There's no doubt about it. I have more cheat meals, flex meals, whatever you'd like to call it, during the holidays, and I enjoy them thoroughly. I really do, and I don't feel guilty about it. I say I'm with family, I'm enjoying a great meal, And I love it. Like, that's the bottom line. Like, I enjoy good food, and I enjoy being around family, and I enjoy being around friends. And then now it's time to button things up, like most people. So I started my functional medicine detox, our Equilibrium Nutrition Detox, on Monday. I posted that inside of our support group. Hopefully you're a part of it, our free Facebook group at cabralsupportgroup.com. And we've had, again, like I said, thousands of people join this month. And I know a lot of people will kick off next Monday as well. But, the truth, and the reason why I bring it up is it's a game changer. It really is. After those first 2 days of the 4 shakes a day, when you get to day 3 and you get to eat for that first time again, and you're enjoying the taste of that food, and your body feels so much lighter, and then it starts to pick back up and more energy by days 4 and 5, and by the time you get to day 7, you're like, oh, this is great. I don't want to lose this. And that's why we have so many people do the 21-day detox. If you've never done a 21-day, I can't recommend it enough. It will reset your system. And you don't have to do the fasting days each of the 3 weeks if you don't want. Now, you will get the most results that way, but you could do the next 2 weeks at one fasting day, one with their shake fast, so you're drinking shakes the 4 times during the day, to give the body the nutrients that it needs so it doesn't become too catabolic and that it can ramp up phase 1, phase 2 liver detox. Or you could just follow a meal plan from days 3 through 17 and continue to take your 3 products. So whatever works for you, the truth is even doing it 90% is better than not doing it at all. So get started. If you've never done a functional medicine detox, you can simply go to equilibriumnutrition.com/detox and you will find out the details there. All right. So again, highest recommendation. If you do nothing else, that's where it's at. Wanted to also let people know, so many questions have been coming in. So what I want people to do with Fatlocity is this. We've set up a page to take your questions, and it is at equilibriumnutrition.com/Fatlocity-FAQ. That's pretty easy, all lowercase. Okay, so on this page, it answers all of your Fatlocity questions. I talked about this in the outro of the shows, the podcast. Hopefully you check out the outros. That first and foremost, before I even get into the FAQs, thank you to all of our Equilibrium Nutrition ambassadors. Thank you to our IHPs. Thank you to our entire community for getting the word out about Fatlocity, helping people to understand that it's not a diet pill, that it's an actual metabolic system that helps you reset at a foundational level with your hormones such as estrogen and thyroid. And it helps to lower high levels of cortisol. It helps to balance healthy levels of inflammation and blood sugar. It helps to boost thermogenesis, and it gets you in a deeper level of sleep so that you can burn more fat as fuel overnight. And again, quoting all of the 25 scientific citations we have with this product. So first of all, thank you. I really do appreciate your help. There will always be people who are the naysayers and all that. I totally get it. I understand. I'm okay with that. We are not trying to convert people. We are trying to help people who need help and want help. And we know that we can provide that, so much so that, we guarantee it. So we want to change the industry, and we want to do groundbreaking things. Whenever you do groundbreaking things, there will always be sometimes a little pushback because it's new and there's skepticism, and I get it. But that's why we guarantee it. It works for you or it doesn't, but we guarantee it. And we know that since we're not doing anything crazy to the body, we're actually working with a natural circadian rhythm. We're trying to get that body boosted during the day, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we're trying to then shut the body off from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So you work with this natural circadian rhythm that rebalances hormones at an underlying level, which, again, we're looking at metabolism, and metabolism is largely regulated by many of the hormones in your body. So appreciate you. The brand new debut is going on this week. It ends this Sunday. That means there will never be another opportunity to save 20% ever on Fatlocity again. So please, if you're interested, check out equilibriumnutrition.com/Fatlocity, because I know next week we're going to get a lot of emails from people listening to back episodes of the show saying, can I still get the 20%? And we are literally not able to. There is no code left in the software that shows a different price, and there's no coupon or anything like that. So you can just head on over to equilibriumnutrition.com/Fatlocity. And again, just check out the product details. If it's the right fit, great. And if it's not the right fit, that's okay too. No problem at all. But one more thing, the reason why I got on this topic in the first place, people who are doing the detox, use Fatlocity. Now, you can do Fatlocity with any of our protocols. That's another big question. I'll probably do another show just on this. But you can use it with any of our protocols. You can use it on the Detox as well. However, if you're doing the Detox right now, you can wait and start Fatlocity directly after your Detox. That works too. Okay, let me move on. Last thing before we get into the favorite food of the week, reviews, jet lag, research, etc. IHP closed last night, 11:59 p.m., I believe is when we closed it. We closed it on Thursday night, or if we sell our 100 spots before, and that was our last time of 2020 to get in with the 12-month payment plan. So we do that because we understand that it's the holidays and, people already spent a lot of money, and I totally get that as well. So for all the people who joined with the 12-month payment plan, we appreciate you putting your trust in us. We can't wait for you to share in all of the education over at the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute. Level 1 is over 40 hours, and we just gave you another 2.5 hours free with the bonus Fatlocity course. Even if you don't purchase the product, you still get it, because a lot of people don't know Fatlocity is an entire course. It's a whole metabolic system, not just 2 products. Okay, and then just again, welcome. We'll be doing our every single month we do a Facebook live Q&A with me, and that will be coming up. Let me see if I have the exact date for you. That will be coming up next Wednesday, the 15th at 4 p.m. And it looks like, nope, not at 4 p.m. I don't know what time that is. So I'm going to have to link it up for you. I think it's 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock or so, but I'll put that inside of our IHP Facebook group. Keep in mind, we have the IHP Level 1, our main group, and Level 2 Facebook groups that are exclusive to be able to ask questions in there. And I love popping in and doing video updates as well. So thank you, and appreciate you. Can't wait to chat with you directly inside of our group. All right. Favorite food of the week. A week that I kind of sneak, I should say a food I sneak in every once in a while and talk about, but I don't talk about it enough, and I want to bring it onto your plate at home, okay? You can purchase it frozen, it's fine, but if you can get it fresh, great, okay? Try to get it organic. That's pretty important because this could be heavily sprayed as well. So we are talking about Bok Choy, Bokchoy. Now, I've eaten bok choy many, many times, previous to when I went overseas. But when I was studying interning in a traditional Chinese medicine hospital in old Beijing, I had bok choy almost every single day. And that's because I didn't know how to read the menu. Old Beijing is predominantly all Mandarin Chinese based. There are not a lot of Americans there. It's not a place for tourism typically. And so I'd go to the restaurant with the 2 other people that spoke English. One was from Italy and the other was from Canada. And we would go out to lunch and we would go out to dinner together because we were the only ones who spoke English and none of us spoke Mandarin. So I would point to the thing on the menu that I knew was something that I could eat. And part of it was bok choy. And so that was something that I actually grew very fond of. Even though I was eating it every single day, it was absolutely delicious. And that's because it essentially has 2 parts. It has a leafy green on the top that is like, I want to say it's like a spinach, but it's not it's milder. And it's very mild. It's actually mild and delicious. And then the bottom part is more like a celery base. So you get this celery with this spinach leaf, or almost like a fennel at the bottom, and then a spinach leaf, but it doesn't have that strong spinach-based flavor. One of my favorite vegetables, and it is one of the top vegetables for you to eat. It's in the cruciferous-based vegetable family. So I always talk about, what do I talk about? Broccoli and cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. Okay, those are cruciferous-based vegetables as well. Well, why is that important? Well, they help with detoxification. They help with phase 2 specifically. Most people are pretty good at phase 1 detox. And if you don't know what phase 1 and phase 2 detox is, please go to equilibriumnutrition.com/detox-course. It's completely free. It's a 2+ hour course on exactly why the future of healthy you needs to go and learn about functional medicine detox. It is becoming more prevalent now. More people are talking about it, but I can for sure tell you 9 years ago, when I started doing it in my practice, it wasn't, but it was the game changer. When I first started using it, I wasn't using it before then either. It was a game changer. It helped me tremendously take my health to that next level. And I was already doing pretty well, but not that well. And then in my practice, it was, again, a game changer. I first used it with people who came in with autoimmune issues, etc. And then I found that it had such wide casting benefits and realized why everybody has to be doing it now. Of course, in our community, we do it every 12 weeks, just like they talk about, again, in ancient Ayurvedic and other natural medicine-based modalities. Okay, but let's get back to it. So I want to just give you a specific quote, and I'm going to link up this article. By the way, this article is amazing. I've never heard about this website before, but I'm going to link it up for you today. So simply head on over to the show notes at stephencabral.com/1435. Okay, so check this out. So among the 17 different cruciferous vegetables analyzed in the study, Bok Choy was the only vegetable to contain high amounts of what the researchers called Principle 1 and Principle 2 phenols. Now, what does that mean? Well, these are the most potent in terms of decreasing oxidative stress and decreasing cancer-based risk. So to me, this is pretty amazing stuff because I've been studying the research of sulforaphane, typically extracted from broccoli, and we use that in many of our products right now. For sure, we use it for sulforaphane in our daily nutritional support, other products. But these are game changers, big clinical studies with autism and with all sorts of specific issues as well. But I just want to bring that to you. Besides it being a very potent detoxifying vegetable, it is also very high in vitamin K. So really great for the blood. It's high in vitamin C. It's high in vitamin A. And there's also a good amount, a decent amount, I shouldn't say a good amount, but a decent amount of folate as well. One thing that of note is that it is one of the only, meaning it's very different from other fruits and vegetables, because it contains the mineral selenium, which is very rare at a good amount in a vegetable. So pretty important vegetable to be adding to your repertoire. It's easy to cook. You can steam it in a pan. That's how I would cook it. You can bake anything, you really can, but I would steam it. And that's a great way to have it. Then just, of course, no one's going to refer to me ever as Chef Cabral, that's for sure. But all I do is put a little olive oil, a little pinch of sea salt on things, and it's good to go. You want to taste the flavors of the vegetable itself. And then, of course, olive oil can also help to transport a lot of those great vitamins and minerals and nutrients into your body as well. Okay, so favorite food of the week, Bok Choy. Check out previous Friday reviews over the past 2 months or so for some of those other favorite foods. All right, next up. So in terms of reviews, I love to bring you a book review or I love to bring you a product review. I have a lot of biotech-based devices that I will be reviewing over the next 4 to 6 weeks or so. So I've got a PEMF mat I'm going to review. I've got a scalar-based wave device I'm going to review on how to cut down on EMFs. So a lot of things to bring you. I will be bringing you those soon. And of course, being at the Consumer Electronics Show, there would be so many things that I have to share with you once I head over to the event after I record this show, after I record this podcast. But what I wanted to give you today was my jet lag protocol. So this is what to do in order to make sure that you can switch through time zones easily. So what I do is this. The first night I arrive at a new city or whatever it might be, if it's not more than 3 to 5 hour time difference, I try to go to bed just an hour or two maximum later than when I would arrive, or than I would be at home. So for example, if I go from Boston to California or Las Vegas, it's 3 hours backwards. So typically I'll go to bed no later than 10 p.m. So I know it's early, but if you go to bed at 7 or 8 o'clock, when you arrive in that time zone, it better keeps you on schedule and you can actually sleep in then an extra hour than you typically would that next day. So again, if I wake up, let's say I sleep from 8 o'clock here till, let's say 5 o'clock in the morning here. Okay, well now I'm sleeping 9 hours, but I actually woke up at 8 o'clock back home because it's 3 hours forward back in Boston. So the way that I'm able to do this though, the way that I'm able to reset is by using the deep sleep-based protocol. And I can't recommend enough. It's simply using some magnesium citrate powder or deep sleep support supplement and liquid melatonin. Very, very simple. Adrenal Soothe would be another great one to add in at dinner, but it works. Bottom line is it works. And the next morning, if I'm going to be there for a while, then that's when I'll use a little bit of caffeine, some extra caffeine. So I'm trying to switch completely to decaf. A little bit of caffeine. Again, some people are totally fine with it. And other people, if they just want to get a little bit of that pharmaceutical grade caffeine, they can just get it from their Fatlocity Day formula. And then, of course, we turn it off at night. But again, that's a different story. You can look into that. So that's all that I do. And then I can get on that rhythm. Now, so that works fantastically well. I want to let people know, though, if you're only in a location for 2 to 3 days and the time difference isn't more than really like that 3 to 5 hour time mark, try to stay as close to your hometown time as possible. Use the room darkening shades. Use the deep sleep at night to get to sleep even if it's a little light out. And then wake up pretty close, just an hour, hour and a half difference of when you are back home. That will help set the stage. So, for example, if I'm just making a quick trip to Las Vegas, I will stay on that time. That's what I'm doing right now. So I went to bed at 11, my hometown time, 8 o'clock here last night before reading this. And then I'm waking up typically at home. I'll wake up somewhere around 5:30. Here, I'll give myself an extra hour of sleep because it's so early here. So now I get to catch up on a little extra sleep, and I get to be up before the rest of the world. I get to read during that time. I get to record. I get to meditate. I get to think, and it's absolutely great. So you can get a lot done. But again, if you are in doubt, use the deep sleep protocol to your advantage. The caffeine to wake up, you don't have to do a lot. And then the deep sleep to go to bed at night, all you're doing is create a new circadian rhythm. Turning off the cortisol at night, turning it back on a little bit with some caffeine in the morning. Hopefully that helps. And again, if you have high levels of anxiety, if you have panic attacks, you are not going to use caffeine. Okay, so I'm just putting that out there. All right, last one for the day. And I know I'm running a little tight on my time, but I wanted to bring you this research because I do want to bring you some research every single day or every single Friday review. So this is one, and I'm going to link it up to a previous podcast I did on people who are low on dopamine. So if my team is listening to this, please link up my previous podcast on low dopamine. It's a game changer for people with low metabolism, low thyroid, low mood, low energy. Check out that show if you have not already listened to it. So again, I'm going to link everything up today at episode 1435, okay? StephenCabral.com/1435. This study was just done, okay? It came out January 3rd, 2020. Done at the University of Virginia. And here's the summary. A new study finds that the pleasure center of the brain and the brain's biological clock are linked, and that high-calorie foods, which bring pleasure, disrupt normal feeding schedules, resulting in overconsumption. Let me bring you this study. I think this is super important. Okay, during the years 1976 through 1980, 15% of the U.S. adults were obese. 15%, that's it. Today, about 40% of adults are obese, and another 33% are overweight. I mean, it's dramatic. And this coincides with an increase in heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cancer, health complications, blood pressure, Alzheimer's, etc. Now, keep in mind, I try to help people all the time to lose weight, but I'm never doing it for vanity purposes. If people want to lose weight because they make them feel like they look better, that's on them. That's totally fine. I'm good with that too. But I'm helping people to lose weight so they can live a better quality of life and a longer life. Again, there are no guarantees in life. But at least do the best you can. So if something happens, you can say, well, listen, I did the best I could. And then that's it. So here's the thing. I want to read this to you. The diet in the U.S. and other nations has changed dramatically in the last 50 years or so, with highly processed foods available day and night, especially those higher in sugar and carbohydrates. When this study was published in Current Biology, that's the name of the journal, it demonstrated that the pleasure center of the brain that produces the chemical dopamine and the brain's separate biological clock that regulates daily physiological rhythms are linked, and that high-calorie foods, which bring pleasure, disrupt normal feeding schedules, resulting in overconsumption. Using mice study models, the researcher mimicked the 24/7 availability of a high-fat diet and showed that anytime snacking eventually results in obesity and related health problems. So basically, this is what they found. Instead of us just eating 3 meals a day, if you are always able to get these, there are higher fat diets that were fed to these mice, and especially like in the evening, it did not matter If the calories were the same, the mice that were able to eat even later at night or disrupted their normal eating gained more weight. That's why I keep trying to tell people, all the people saying, oh, it's just about calories in, calories out. It's not. It is not, because you start to disrupt the normal hormones and regulatory system of the body, and dopamine is one of those neurotransmitters. So here's the thing about dopamine, and a lot of people don't know this. You need dopamine to get your norepinephrine levels getting up. You need dopamine for your thyroid levels, which is a metabolism regulator, right? So that's why this is so important to look at. So if you believe that you're someone that is having difficulty losing weight, if you're having somebody with brain fog, low thyroid, with sluggishness, what I want you to do is start to look more into maybe you do have lower dopamine levels. We'll have a new lab test debuting at the end of January that will talk more about dopamine levels. We think it's that important. We really do. We want to help people figure out what their underlying root cause imbalance is, so we do want to make this lab test available, which was only previously available in our Boston private practice. Okay, I'm going to link up the previous podcast on dopamine. Go learn more about it, but just understand this, that eating all throughout the day, grazing all throughout the day, especially on these processed foods and higher fat foods, and especially eating way past dinner time, past 6 p.m., can dysregulate your biological rhythm. It can throw off your metabolism. It can throw off your sleep. It can throw off your mood. It can throw off your hormones. So hopefully this was helpful. I will also link up the study as well. Thank you so much for tuning into the show. I appreciate you. Have an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you tomorrow on our host calls. Before you go, I wanted to ask you this question. What if I could teach you in just a couple of hours how to transform your thyroid, hormones, adrenal, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, weight loss, energy, mood, brain, pregnancy, anti-aging, or many other health-related issues? After 20 years in private practice, after seeing and overseeing 250,000 client appointments, I sincerely feel I have the real-world data and have found the answer you've been searching for. So what I've done is spent hundreds of hours of my own time refining what you need to know in order to uncover your underlying root cause health issues and then begin to rebalance the body and bring it back to a state of robust health and wellness. I'm going to teach you exactly what I do in my private practice so you can understand how you got here and now what you need to do in order to heal. You'll receive all of the important success checklists, protocols, and even ways to customize it to make the program fit your busy life. And you'll get all of this at a fraction of the price. Let me save you the time, money, energy, stress, and frustration of not knowing what to do next. Instead of reading dozens of books on the topic and seeing multiple practitioners, I will condense everything that you need to know in just a few hours of video tutorials that you can watch and listen to anywhere. Together, we will make this healing process an enjoyable one that you can take with you for the rest of your life. I wish you all of the best of health and happiness, and I hope to be able to guide you on your healing journey through my health results accelerators. Simply choose the health imbalance you're currently suffering from, and by the end of today, you'll know what went wrong and how to get well again. I guarantee it. For details, head over now to stevencabral.com/courses.